Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Learning Airports. Today let's learn about airports and its use. An airport is an aerodrome with extended facilities, mostly for commercial air transport. They usually consist of a landing area, which comprises an aerially accessible open space including at least one operationally active surface such as a runway for a plane to take off and to land or a helipad, and often includes adjacent utility buildings such as control towers, hangars, and terminals to maintain and monitor aircraft. Larger airports may have airport aprons, taxiway bridges, air traffic control centers, passenger facilities such as restaurants and lounges, and emergency services. In some countries, the US in particular, airports also typically have one or more fixed-base operators, serving general aviation. Airport operations are extremely complex, with a complicated system of aircraft support services, passenger services, and aircraft control services contained within the operation. Thus, airports can be major employers, as well as important hubs for tourism and other kinds of transit. Because they are sites of operation for heavy machinery, several regulations and safety measures have been implemented in airports in order to reduce hazards. Additionally, airports have major local environmental impacts, as both large sources of air pollution, noise pollution, and other environmental impacts, making them sites that acutely experience the environmental effects of aviation. Airports are also vulnerable infrastructure to extreme weather, climate change-caused sea level rise, and other disasters. The terms aerodrome, airfield, and airstrip also refer to airports, and the terms heliport, seaplane base, and STOL port refer to airports dedicated exclusively to helicopters, seaplanes, and short takeoff and landing aircraft. The word aeroplane emerged in the 1870s, long before the Wright brothers succeeded in 1903. In colloquial use in certain environments, the terms airport and aerodrome are often interchanged. However, in general, the term airport may imply or confer a certain stature upon the aviation facility that other aerodromes may not have achieved. In some jurisdictions, airport is a legal term of art reserved exclusively for those aerodromes certified or licensed as airports by the relevant civil aviation authority after meeting specified certification criteria or regulatory requirements. That is to say, all airports are aerodromes, but not all aerodromes are airports. In jurisdictions where there is no legal distinction between aerodrome and airport, which term to use in the name of an aerodrome may be a commercial decision. In U.S. technical/legal usage, landing area is used instead of aerodrome. An airport means a landing area used regularly by aircraft for receiving or discharging passengers or cargo. Smaller or less developed airfields, which represent the vast majority, often have a single runway shorter than 1,000 meters, 3,300 feet. Larger airports for airline flights generally have paved runways of 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet, or longer. Skyline Airport in Ingham, Idaho, has a runway that is only 122 meters, 400 feet, long. As of 2009, the CIA stated that there were approximately 44,000 airports or airfields recognizable from the air around the world, including 15,095 in the US having the most in the world. Many US airports still lease part or all of their facilities to outside firms, who operate functions such as retail management and parking. All U.S. commercial airport runways are certified by the FAA under the Code of Federal Regulations Title 14 Part 139, Certification of Commercial Service Airports. The Airport and Airway Trust Fund, AATF, was created by the Airport and Airway Development in 1970, which finances aviation programs in the United States. Airport Improvement Program, AIP, Facilities and Equipment and Research, Engineering and Development are the three major accounts of Federal Aviation Administration which are financed by the AATF, as well as pays for the FAA's operation and maintenance, account. The funding of these accounts are dependent on the taxes the airports generate of revenues. Passenger tickets, fuel, and cargo tax are the taxes that are paid by the passengers, and airlines help fund these accounts. Airports' revenues are divided into three major parts: aeronautical revenue, non-aeronautical revenue, and non-operating revenue. Aeronautical revenue makes up 50% in 2021, from 54% and 48% in 2019 and 2020. Non-aeronautical revenue makes up 34%, 40%, 39% in previous years. and non-operating revenue makes up 16%, 6%, 14% of the total revenue of airports. Aeronautical revenues are generated through airline rents and landing, passenger service, parking, and hangar fees. Landing fees are charged per aircraft for landing an airplane on the airport property. Landing fees are calculated through the landing weight and the size of the aircraft, which varies, but most of the airports have a fixed rate and charge extra for extra weight. Aircraft parking is also a major revenue source for airports. Aircraft are parked for a certain amount of time before or after takeoff and have to pay to park there. Every airport has its own rates of parking. For example, John F. Kennedy Airport in New York City charges $45 per hour for a plane of 100,000 pounds, and the price increases with weight. Non-aeronautical revenue is gained through things other than aircraft operations. It includes lease revenue from compatible land use development, non-aeronautical building leases, retail and concession sales, rental car operations, parking, and in-airport advertising. Concession revenue is one big part of non-aeronautical revenue airports make through duty-free, bookstores, restaurants, and money exchange. Car parking is a growing source of revenue for airports, as more people use the parking facilities of the airport. O'Hare International Airport in Chicago charges $2 per hour for every car. Many airports are local monopolies. To prevent them from abusing their market power, governments regulate how much airports may charge to airlines, using price cap regulation. Airports are divided into landside and airside zones. The landside is subject to fewer special laws and is part of the public realm, while access to the airside zone is tightly controlled. Only passengers with a valid boarding pass, aircrew members with an identification document, and airport staff with a valid airside pass can access the airside. Landside facilities may include publicly accessible airport check-in desks, shops, and ground transportation facilities. The area where the aircraft parks to load passengers and baggage is known as an apron or ramp, or incorrectly, the tarmac. Airport security normally requires baggage checks, metal screenings of individual persons, and rules against any object that could be used as a weapon. Since the September 11th attacks and the Real ID Act of 2005, airport security has dramatically increased and gotten tighter and stricter than ever before. Most major airports provide commercial outlets for products and services. Most of these companies, many of which are internationally known brands, are located within the departure areas. These include clothing boutiques and restaurants and, in the US, amounted to $4.2 billion in 2015. Prices charged for items sold at these outlets are generally higher than those outside the airport. However, some airports now regulate costs to keep them comparable to street prices. In our next video, we will continue to look at airports' products and services.